Whew, we made it. Happy Friday, everybody. Good morning from John here at Pro Craps on the Casino Gaming TV channel. Sorry about yesterday, but duty called at work. I got a teacher there who's got tonsillitis, which if you're an adult and get tonsillitis, no bueno, man, that shit ain't good. So I've been covering for her all week, which makes my show, like today, I've got to end today at probably 8:50 again. So no matter what happens, we got to leave early. Today, also, I've got my dishwasher broke, so I've got a guy coming today to put a new sensor in it. So at some point between 8 o'clock and 3 o'clock, they're showing up. So if the doorbell rings in 10 minutes, show's over. I got to go let the guy in and get the dishwasher pulled out. So could be a weird show today. We'll see how timing goes. And again, it's Friday, March 25th, and you care about that because you're here. Somebody watching us tomorrow, that makes no sense, but who cares? Let's talk about some fun stuff. Last night I went live with at my midnight session here, and I went live with a new strategy called the Trojan horse, and I don't know if it's going to be a thing or not. I tried it out last night. Waylon said, hey, give it a shot, so I did. I'm going to roll it out today along with another strategy side by side, and the thinking is to get some way to marry the Headless Horseman with the 4 and 10. So what I did is I just did a straight up place 4 and 10, hard way 4 and 10 horseman. That was it. No laddering, no anything, no pressing really, just kind of played it straight up. Really wanted to get a sense of the roll, right? And how it worked out. It turns out I got whacked pretty hard on the come out sevens, which doesn't normally happen to me that often, but timing was everything last night. Didn't work out so well. I'm still going to work the come outs with this thing, but I'm going to add a ladder to it. So as you build a strategy, you go, okay, let's roll it out. Let's see what happened. And if you watched the video last night, you'll see how I did it. I rolled it out, I think 15 times or something like that. And I just kind of stacked up the wins and the losses, and I added up at the end how many times I won, how many times I lost. And then I looked at what reasons why I won and lost, right? I lost mostly because of come out sevens were crushing me. In gameplay, once the puck was on, that strategy crushed it. It did really good. So it's a matter of dealing with the come out losers. And I think the way to handle that is two ways. One, don't run the come out. However, I had 3 points of 10. 2 of them came hard, which means if I don't work the come out and the 4 and 10 come as often as the 7 does, I missed out on 2 opportunities there, which is kind of a bummer. So I'm thinking about keep working the come out, but I'm also going to add a ladder of the 4 and 10, the place bets. I think just the place bets and the pass line or the don't pass line. So I think that's how I'm going to do that. I think we're going to do a little bit of a ladder in there, which means things have to change as far as how I run this out today. So that's gonna be today's strategy when I get to it. But let's jump into the announcements here and go through what's happening in the world of craps. So as always, DiceCon, 19th to the 21st. I've been talking to some people offline that I know don't always come to the live shows, but they watch afterwards. And it's gonna be fun, man. There's some fun people coming that I'm really looking forward to getting to hang out with. The problem with this trip, honestly, is that there are some people that I know I'm going to meet with in Vegas. I'm going a day early. I'm going to go on the 18th. And I'm going there for the purposes of hanging out with a couple of people that I know live there. And now it's like I got like 10 friends who live in Vegas. And we want to have dinner with everybody. And it's like there's only 4 nights, right? So I can't meet with everybody, obviously. But I can picture a couple of group dinners in our midst here for sure. Jeremy's got a big dinner plan. Like I think we're going to get a whole restaurant to ourselves one night. Which will be really cool to kind of hang out and just it's going to be really, really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, the Casino Gaming TV, of course, I'm going to remind you of this again. And I probably ought to share my screen and show you some stuff, but I'll do that later. Maybe at the end, if I have time, I'll do this. Get on the Discord with me, please. The Discord is, it's a good way to communicate, right? And I got to call a couple of people out, and I'm not calling out for a bad reason, but JR, who we know is always in the chats here, and PJ Strong, who's always in the chats a lot of times, right? And other people that we chat with a lot here. Sometimes the way YouTube works is this: when you I put a video out and you put a comment out, right, on the video, I don't always see them. What happens is I get an email that says, "Hey, Duracell8 left you a comment," and I can read the comment in the email that I get. Then I go to the website and the comment's not there for whatever reason. And YouTube, in the back end, I got a place where I can look at comments that YouTube deletes or screens out for spam or whatever. A lot of times they're not there either. They just go off into space. I don't know where the hell these comments go. I had this problem with Greg for a while. I couldn't comment on Greg's channel. My comments would just disappear. Who knows where the hell they go? So I'm going to ask you, go to Discord if you can, because in Discord, there is none of that crap. You can write to us in Discord, and it's all live chat all day long, not just with the video. So get to Discord, please, because I don't want to lose your comments. I think some of you have some really thoughtful and great things to say, but if I don't hear them, or if I don't see them, or I can't comment in reply, then it goes off into the space and we can't tell. So I'm sorry if you're a person who's commented and I'm not replying to you on the website. That's what's happening. I'm just not seeing them because they're not there. And I don't know why that happens. They do vanish. I have no idea why they vanish. Sometimes I can see them in the spam section. It says this likely spam. Everything PJ writes to me, by the way, is always likely spam. For whatever reason, it's got him logged as a spammer, and I have to go hunt his stuff down. So Discord's the way because it's a direct connection. Email is a good way, but I'm slow with emails, as some of you will attest to. I'm not very great at emails because I got crap happening all day long. So there we go. That's that comment. Now, the other thing you see on screen here is Hawaii Crap Shooters and Greg are going to be live tomorrow morning. It looks like, what time is that going to be? 6 o'clock Hawaii time, 9 o'clock my time. I got to set an alarm clock, but Greg's one of my best friends. I will set an alarm clock to watch Greg talk to Brian about dark side craps. Brian's turning into a dark sider. I think dark side craps is, as you know, I love it. It's the way to play on everybody not named you, or not named somebody that you trust to throw well. So I think learning it's good. Greg's the best teacher of it. He's the best advocate for it. And I think that's going to be a great show. So catch those two live. Now, with that said, let's jump back into team play. And the comment that I want to make on team play is this. We're going to go into strategies today. I'm going to play 2 strategies for you. I had a talk last night with a good friend of mine who I know plays only team play craps, right? That's what he does all the time. And we had a long talk because he's like, oh, I finally got a chance to watch your videos, and I agree with most of what you said, but not all of what you said. And we kind of had this little back and forth about what's good and what's bad about what I've been saying about teams. And his comment was interesting. We talked about the business of it, right? And I'm like, yeah, people don't like me talking about the business of this because it's boring, I guess. Or it's like, why would you talk about a business of a losing proposition? It makes no sense. And I get that. My point was always been to kind of protect you all. We talked a lot about strategies, and my comment, one of the comments that I made was, we may all be in this thing. Like, I may buy into the team for $1,000. You may buy into the team for $5,000. I have a lesser stake. I have less skin in the game. Therefore, I shouldn't share even on the money, which I agree with. We shouldn't be sharing even on the money if we're in for less stake. But at the table, the person with the least stake might have the most chips. Like, you might trust that guy to play with the bigger stack because of the strategy he's playing requires more money to play. He's maybe playing a big giant, like today we'll see a big tiered regression type of thing where he needs more to get out there. And my friend's comment to me was, that's true to an extent, but if that's the case, then what we have to do as a team, and part of the agreement must be then to limit the amount of action we have. So if that's the case, and this person's skin is only $1,000, then we have to agree that we're all buying into the table for the same $1,000. I might have more in my pocket to play with later if we need to. And we also agree to have the same action at the table, not the same bet size, the same total action. So that way one person that buys in, that's managing the bigger stack of chips can't burn the whole team's bankroll on one shot. He can't go out there for like, $5,600 across or $5,400 across and burn the whole thing. So the idea there is, let's limit the action and say we're all going to be not maximizing, but having a max action level at the table. So that got me to thinking a little bit more about how I might run some of these strategies. And like, yeah, the rate, because me, I'm all about the ratio. The ratio to me is important. And I think we need a mixture of dark light hybrid. I think we need a mixture of short game, long game, passive aggressive strategies. I think adding this maximum action per player is a big piece of this to kind of reduce the overall team volatility, and then how we play things out. So with that said, let's take the next piece of this thing here and consider what strategies we're going to play today. So from a volatility standpoint, I'm going to try out that new horseman, the Trojan horse thing. We're going to try it out today a little bit, and I'm going to couple that with a tiered regression. So we're going to go with the Duracell 8 tiered regression. I'm going to go from 220 to 110 to 64 across. So 2 hits in profit, and then build it back up again. That's going to be the one player's play. The other person's going to do a horseman at a higher level. I'll explain both strategies for you at the table. Let's go back there and take a look at what we're going to do. And let's see, table zoom or table wide. And again, I've got the words around the dice rack. I'm not gonna play 4 strategies today. I'm gonna play 2. And mainly because I don't wanna make any mistakes, but more importantly, the 2 strategies, the one of them I'm kind of in evaluation builder mode. And if I'm gonna evaluate how the strategy is doing as we're playing it, make adjustments, I don't wanna be distracted by having 4 people. So it's gonna be a double rack. And I've got the buy-in amounts on there so I don't forget what they are, but it's pretty simple. This person's gonna play 220 inside, working. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instances of 225, essentially. So he's buying in for whatever that total is, whatever it's 1735 total. Okay, that's his buy-in. That's how we'll check his profit. But really, I need 9. I have nine slots. I'm looking to win an extra couple of these as we go. The other player is going to play this new horseman of mine, the Trojan horse, and what he's got is his $1,500 over here and 235 over here. So essentially, this one looks like this. I'll give it to you straight. We're going to do a $100 don't pass. We're going to do $20 buying the 4 and 10. $10 on the hard 4, hard 10. That's the right ratio, and of course the 3 come bets. The question that came up last night while I was playing this out was, do I work the come out or not, number 1, and number 2, do I ladder these up after losses? And I think the answer to both questions is yes. I'm gonna make that adjustment today, which means the normal horseman, how I play it, if I lose the don't pass, I let it be naked until the next shooter comes up. In this case, I'll probably do the same thing, I think. These guys here, I'm gonna work them all the time. So the 4 and 10 are gonna be like a separate mini strategy, but I think the ratio here is right. So I'm gonna play it out and explain it as I go, and I think it'll make sense. So I'm gonna put, obviously, the profits on this side of my rack as I go for both players, and the working money out front. So what I'm gonna do here, top player is gonna do 220 inside, like so. He's working. The horseman, actually, I should reverse those. He's gonna be in the backside, like so. And the horseman is gonna be, we're gonna have everything working here, but we're gonna ladder up on a loss. And that's why I've got this, instead of doing it per shooter, I've got a whole bunch of bankroll back here to kind of make that work. And we'll see if this thing works better coming out all the time, working all the time, with some kind of a pump up system in the end there to see if it works. So that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna roll these 2 out. I'll probably get about 5 or 6 shooters in before the dishwasher man comes or school starts. So one of 2 things is gonna happen, and we'll stop here at about 5 or 6 shooters. So with that said, let me get my phone out of my pocket so I can check the times, and we will get rolling here. Here we are. Coming out, the first come out roll is gonna be a 9. 5, 4, 9. And there's the 9. We'll mark it up, and right away, this person is working. That's gonna pay $70. And we're gonna bring everything down by 1 unit. Okay, so he's gonna go right down to 110 on the inside. And he started with 220. So the way that this tiered regression looks out of the gate, there's 100. I'm gonna color these up as I go. He's bringing 175, 180 back to his rack. So he bought in for 220. The first hit, he's back at 180 in the rack. So any secondary hit that he gets here will be okay. Oh, and his 70. Oh, that's coming back here, sorry. Any secondary hit that he gets will end up putting him in profit. So that's actually a solid, good result. Point is 9. Now our horseman comes out with a come out roll. So on the new horseman, this tiered regression horseman, or this Trojan horse, what you've got is $60. There's 20 on the 4, that's a buy. 20 on the 10, that's $40, 50, 60. If the 7 comes right now, you'd lose 60, but you'd win 125. Okay, so that feels to me like, I don't know, $65 win or so, right? That's gonna be a good outcome for us. So we'll be ahead on the 7. And what this gives me, and on the second one, by the way, that gets set out there. The second one, the second comeback would be a $40 win, and the third comeback would be a $15 win. And you end up in a good spot here where you basically are covered on the 7 during the come out phase for 3 times, which means you get 3 free cracks at the 4 and 10, right? You can't lose on a 7 here for the first 3 rolls. These things, it's like 3 free shots at it. The question is, do I ladder these up if I lose now? No, because I'll be in profit. I would not ladder up if I'm showing a profit, but if I get all 3 come bets set and then the 7 comes, yeah, that's when I might ladder those guys up. So the ratio here I think is important. $60 in the field or on the layout, 125 potential action, and here's the second shot. This will get faster as I go here. So there's a 314, which is great. That's going to pay $40 on the end. Again, I'm not doing the VIGs. I don't do VIGs. So here's what's going to happen. This is kind of cool. He gets paid $40. The come bet's going to move into the 4, and so the $20 comes down. Effectively, that becomes pressing the 4 by $5 is what the net result of that is. I'm going to take one of these 5s and drop it onto the 10. So that also now is at the $25 level. So they're both at 25. The problem is this one here is a come bet. So it pays 1 to 1. This one's going to pay 2 to 1. But that's okay. We got hit the first time. Over here, we lose our hard 4. I'll put it right back with that. And this goes into the rack nice and happy. And the horseman has made one hit on the 410, which is solid. And again, this makes that free, which is nice. This makes those shots on the 4 and 10 no cost. There's a second 4, 314. Now the bummer is, as a come bet, you just get paid 1 to 1. And this come bet again moves into the 4. That comes down. Here, we lose the hard 4. I'll put it right back from profit. And we're set back up again with the buy 10 and a come 4. And the hard way's here, and our last come bet's coming out. And there's wow, 3 in a row, 314, 3 times in a row. Fantastic. So that's going to come here. That's going to come down and get paid. Hard 4 comes down and gets replaced. Now, if I look at my rack where I am, it cost me 3 come bets and $60 to get out. There's 1, 2, 3 come bets, and there's $50 in the rack. So my rack for the Trojan horse is essentially all of this is paid for, except for $10, and I have my don't working. So I'm not fully recovered yet, but my don't is working. This person back here hasn't seen any action at all since the 3 4s are hit. He's not getting any payments here. So I need him to get a hit to get down into normal town. There's a 6, a hard 6, 3 3. So the 6 pays 35. And what I'm going to do here is make this look like 64 across. So we're going to go 50, 65, and the rest of it comes to the rack. Now this guy here is going to be in profit. He's got 100, 200, and I'll put 25. There's 225. That represents his 220 that he went out with. I'll slide that over here, and he's got $35 in profit. So he's showing a profit right now and is now going across. So we'll take 64 and go across with that. And I'll put those back here. All right, there we go. 64 across with a penny change. So he is in profit. The horseman is in potential profit, depending what happens with that bet right there. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Let's come out, or let's get another roll here. There's a 314, again, easy 4. The hard 4 will come down. That come bet 4, I'm going to pay it with quarters, or with nickels rather, because I need the nickels to replace. That's going to come down. I'm going to go ahead and replace the hard 4. And the come bet, of course, comes with. So that all can come back to my rack now. And decision time. We've hit 4 hard 4s. We've hit 0 hard 10. We've hit 4 4s in general. We've hit 0 10s. We beat the 7 by 4 to 6. We're ahead of the 7 here at this point. Logic would dictate time to come down. Like, that's enough of these things. We should probably stop working, because probability-wise, we're getting close to where that thing is gonna hurt us. What I might consider doing is regressing down, taking this quarter down since it has done nothing for us, and coming back out. Actually, I'll leave it out there and coming back out with 10 on each, and kind of reducing down and keeping ourselves a little bit safe and making sure that we're kind of back in the saddle. We have evened ourselves up except for the 7. By the way, this guy here is going to get paid $18. Okay, so $18 on that 4 there. And again, in here, we're going to inside press. We're going to go from the inside out. So the 4 and 10, or the 6 and 8 each go up. We'll take a quarter back to the rack, and he's going to work press these guys, press these guys, press these guys, and just kind of work in that pattern and do an up and pull. And there's a 6 easy way, 2x4. So the 18 is going to pay 21. We get some more change over here. That pays 21. We're going to go 5 and 9 and rack the 11. There's a 5, a 3, 2, 5. Same deal. We're going to go 15 for 1 this time. Oh, no, sorry, it's 20. I'm sorry, it pays 21. So it was bumped up. $21. Same thing. We're going to go to the 4 and 10 with a unit each and rack $12. And there's aces. Does not matter. An option we have here too with the horseman, I'll let the dice roll before I talk about it, there's ace deuce again. An option we have with the horseman is once we've got the combats and the combats all did resolve themselves, we got a good roll there, you could recycle and start coming again, right? I don't normally do that, but with this kind of a strategy on this kind of a roll, it feels like if all 3 combats get resolved like they did, I might start coming through a second time. And I think on this kind of roll I will, because A, we're rolling some numbers, but B, Big Red's looming, and it might be time to kind of get some juice on that. There's the 8, 5, 3, 8. That's good. This goes into the 8. That 8 right there, 21. It's 20, and 18 will pay 27, and we're going to do it like this: 25, 27. Okay, so everything's been pressed up by 1 unit. We're going to take this and half press these two. So I'm going to get 25 like this. I'm going to press the 6 and 8 both up by $12. So we're going to half press each of them. Be a little bit aggressive here on this nice roll. And that makes them both look like $30 with $3 and change. I'll clean those up like a good dealer would. And they are going to be on a collect next time. Once they're at a different color level, they're going to collect. Okay. I took down the come 8. We'll do one more combat. We'll have 2 in action for this player while we're going. There's a 4. Oh, look at that, another 4. So we'll lose the hard 4. Combat will move into the 4. This 4 here, that's the wrong 4. It's the 4 in front. This 4 up here is going to pay 18. And come down because the come 4 came into it. We're going to replace the hard 4 and put this up in our rack. So they get pressed up by their combat action, which is kind of interesting. So there's that. This one here goes back in there, I think. All right, keep rolling. 5, 3, 8. That's fantastic. $35 to the guy in the back. That's going to be a collect. For 220 inside guy, this combat 8 just comes back and it gets paid. And again, I'm going to cycle another one through. We'll do it like a 2-point molly without odds. I'm just going to go, and maybe, you know, who knows? Maybe it's time for odds. We'll see. 5, 1, 6. That goes into the 6. $35. And again, that one, we're going to do a collect on that. Next one. 5, 3, 8 again. Sweet, that's $35. I'm actually going to pay that with reds. We're going to do 35. So $35 on the 8. And again, we're going to half press a little bit. So I'm going to take the 6 and the 8 both up to $42. I'll take whites out of here. That'll come back to the rack. The combat to the 8 gets, or no, sorry, that was not. No action there on the 8. Sorry about that. All right, that's it for that. Next one. I think I got everything right. Paid. Hard 8. Hard 8. So that's going to pay 50 for 1. And again, choices to be made here on this 8. How high do you want to take that thing, right? I'll probably rack a quarter. I'll get nickels for that quarter right there. And we'll go ahead and get the 5 and the 9 each up by another 10. We'll make them look like a quarter each. And again, they will both be on collect mode as we go. So they're going to collect one and then start going back up again. if we get the hits. There's a 5-1-6. That's awesome. So the come better, of course. And again, not doing odds. I'm not burning what's back there for odds. That guy's going to get paid and come down into the rack. That goes. I'll put them both in the rack for right now. This 42 gets paid 50 for one. And again, I'm going to actually, let's see, that guy collected on him. I haven't collected 50 on him yet. We should probably collect that one before we go out any further. What I'll do is I'll get nickels for this, and I'll get the 5 and 9, or the 4 and 10, up to a quarter each. We'll just give those guys $10, and we'll take $30 back home. And that's how we'll get that up. So those two will now be at the quarter level. And so the guy that started with 220 is now essentially at 160 across. These two are just one shot light. They're a little more than 160. So he's pressed up where he's going to be now in basically collection mode. The horseman player is effectively set. He's back pending the 9, right? So if we look at our rack here, this might be the time on a roll length of this. Let's take a look here. There's $200, right? So essentially he went out for 235. There's 100, 218 bucks in his rack. He's showing profit. He pulls everything down, right? He can guarantee a profit here two ways, right? Pull it all down, except for you can't pull that one down, obviously, and place the 9. So he could place the 9 here for 75 bucks and guarantee, we'll put it down here actually, and guarantee 100 bucks is coming back. We can guarantee $100 profit here by doing this. Hang on one second. Hello. Yep. Oh. Okay. That's fine. Yep, that'll work. Thanks. No worries. Cool, thanks. Bye. Sorry about that, folks, but that was my dishwasher person calling out sick, so we're not getting our dishwasher fixed today. That sucks. All right, so anyway, we can lock this in. We can lock in $100. We're saying we're going to make $100 no matter what, or I can let the 7 reign free, put this $100 at risk, and this guy would end up being in a tie situation after all those wins. Let's let it roll. I'm gonna place the 9 for 75 bucks, place the point down here, which means we either win 100, we would net a quarter off of that, or we win $5 on the 9. So I'm hedging that on purpose to make sure I lock up $100 down there. This player here is in full collect mode, where everything's at green. He's rinsing and repeating his collections if we can keep it up. There's a hard 6. We'll do 50 for 1 for 42 bucks. In the rack we go. I'm going to take these reds out of here, by the way, because I'm running low. That's 75 bucks. Okay, here we go. Let's keep rolling it. If you're playing team play and you got a roll like this, you know what's going to happen, right? You got to be done. You got to be done. Here's $18, so we'll do 20 for 2 on the place bet 10. The hard 10 wins 70 bucks. So the horseman now is in an interesting spot, right? We can do lots of things here. We can take all these reds back, of course. We'll take it all back to the rack to start with. This person's guaranteed in profit now. Let's take a look at where we are. And this may change that place bet. I'm gonna go ahead and color myself up real quick. And again, I'm doing this in front of you. In the rack, I would be managing it with my lammers, but because we're online, I wanna just kind of get this so you can see it visually. There's 75 bucks in reds. If we look at what the horseman needed to get out, the Trojan horse guy, he needed $100 on the don't pass. He needed 3 $25 come bets and 60 bucks to get the 4 and 10 played, right? His rack is clean. He is exactly even in the rack with what he started with, which means everything on the field is profit. He's got 10, 20, 30, 175. He's got $205 out here in profit on the table. pulling all that down guarantees that profit, right? We're guaranteed to win 100 here for sure. I can guarantee 30 further by bringing those down and locking that thing in at this point in the roll. We beat the 7 on the 4 and the 10 probably 6 times, maybe 7 times total. We're like playing with fire now, right? It's time to probably start thinking about being passive here because we're even, right? We're gonna limit our profit if we don't do that. So I'm gonna roll it, I'm gonna say the death sentence. I'm gonna roll it one more time and we'll see what happens here. The next roll, this guy's coming down. The guy in the 220 across is about to make that same call. Okay, let's go. 1, 3, 4. That is the best possible scenario, okay? Come bet 4 comes down and gets paid, okay? That comes into the rack. There we go. This 4 up here is gonna get paid 50 bucks because he was placed. That comes back to his rack, okay? This hard 4 loses, and I think it's time to let it go. We're gonna let that thing go. This player just has the 20 bucks at risk now. This player up here, the 220 player, I feel like he needs to come down. Like it's if we're playing team play, right? We've got ourselves built up to where we're gonna be. What the smart play here for this guy is to be done. He's collected, there's his starting money. This is all profit in here. He's doing really, really well. Bringing this back down to 64 might be the best move and having it rebuild. We've done all-in betting essentially here, or mostly half press, 3/4 press betting the whole way. I feel like with this player here, the smartest move for the team is to regress it back down again and rebuild it back up rather than going for the roof here. I think it's the right time to do it for both players to kind of get out of Dodge. Again, super conservative play, but it's probably the right move to make. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna go ahead and get this guy here back down to 64 across and lock in profit. Everybody here is locking in their profit because it's a smart thing to do. So there's 50, 65, or 64. And he's gonna bring back another 110 in profit and lock this thing down. There's another quarter in reds, by the way. So he's just brought back another 125 into the rack and is looking stout. And that, actually, if I make these look like blacks, you'll see what I'm talking about. 3, there's $400. So this player here is at goal and locked, right? Protected the team by locking in a profit versus putting the team at not so much risk, but reducing their potential, right? When you're playing for more than just you, you've got to be a little bit more kind of aware of what's happening. So there's the 60, 64, and again, if we can build it up, fantastic, we'll build it up. The horseman is still waiting for the 9 or the 7 down here. He's gonna lock up 100 for sure. If we look at his buy-in again, there's 100 black. There is the 3 come bets, and there is 50, I'll get this in nickels here. And there's the 50, 60 that it takes to get the 4 and 10 bought in the beginning. So he also is even in his rack, which makes this and this profit. He's at 70 bucks in profit. So he's locked in 70 plus for sure, at least 100 bucks. So we're at 170 here. We're at 1 1/4 here, plus whatever this is. This is the starting point. So we're doing good, right? Both players have locked in and essentially hit goal for the shooter. And that's great. There's a 10, easy 10. We'll lose the hard 10. That'll get paid 18 bucks. I'm gonna bring that down and lock him in. Trojan horse is done playing craps. This guy here is gonna get paid 18 bucks. And again, we're gonna go ahead and take that and start working the inside again, right? We'll use that as fodder for the inside, and we'll take the 6 bucks back and start rebuilding. If we gotta keep the monster roll going, we're gonna be fine. There's another 10. Another $18. We'll do 20. I can't do 20 for 2. We'll have to do 18 straight. 18 bucks. We'll get the 5 and the 9 pressed up. Bring this back. What's funny is last night, in my rollout last night, I probably rolled 11 9s in 10 minutes. Today, I haven't rolled 1 since the first one. There's the 9. Okay, 6, 3, 9. Beautiful. Puck's gonna be off. That's gonna get paid 21 bucks for the place bet. And again, we're gonna press the 4 and 10 up 1. We're gonna collect our $11. The 220 inside player is now done playing for now. Here, we lose this, but the 75 pays 105. And the horseman now shows a grand total of, let's go ahead and color him up real quick. There's 100, there's 200, there's 25. Horseman's got 250, almost 275. 274 he's got in profit. The 64 across guy's got 125, about 150 here, and another 50 or 60 bucks out here, $65 out here. Actually more than that, he's got 96 out here. So if we pulled him down, he'd also be at 200 bucks in profit. Both players would be at about 20% and you're kind of done, right? On a monster roll, you can't judge a strategy. And I say this to you all the time. I'm gonna pull this down. And what I wanna do is restart things. You cannot judge a strategy on a monster roll. You cannot judge a strategy on a shitty roll, right? I mean, to some degree, you can. To some degree, you can. So there's $75 in reds to come back home. So he's got, let's color him up all the way. There's black, there's a black. His reds turn into one green. His whites turn into a red. And that makes a green chip too. So he's got two greens coming. He's got 220 or 251, right? You're gonna make money on any right side play on a roll like that. That was probably a 25 roller. You can't help but make money on a roll like that. We both got even, we both showed a profit, that's fantastic. I can't judge a strategy on that other than to say, on a good roll, it does okay. Here's an example where we went place betting, tiered regression, and pressed all the way up. Here we did the horseman with 3 come bets and a couple of outsides. They both made the same money. They both essentially made within $15 of each other the exact same profit, which is interesting because they came at it from different angles, right? 2 different strategies merged and made the team 400 bucks. That's actually pretty good to see that. I also say I can't judge a strategy on a crappy roll, right? The 0.7 out is gonna crush everybody who's on the right side, right? The horseman is designed to survive that, but if the 220 guy gets burned on the early 7, I can't say that's a bad strategy because of that, just an unfortunate roll. So I wanna see how we do in a mid-roll. I'm gonna roll one more time. I'm gonna take the profits away and we'll put them down here on the pass line. So those are our 2 players' profits. I'll leave them down here as kind of a marker in time, but our bankroll is actually back to being reset. So this guy's gonna go back to the don't, and we're gonna take that 60 bucks and we're gonna go with a $40, 4 and 10, $10 hard ways, and he's actually out and working anew with his 3 come bets ready to go. The second guy, we're gonna go again, 220 inside, 200 and 20. With a nickel change, and he'll be off. We'll leave him off for the come out, or I'm sorry, he's working to come out. So everybody's working. Every bet out here is alive. Let's do it one more time. Let's not get a come out 7. Let's not get a 0.7 out. We'll see how we can do on a medium normal size roll. So there's a aces, which is great. The horseman wins on the aces. That's really solid. I'm gonna start building him back up. He's looking for his 225 over there. There's the 8. So not a great point for the horseman, but it is what it is, right? This, because we won on the aces, that makes this bet free. This is a free bet on the 7. I look at it that way, like that's just gravy money. If that thing comes, the 7 comes, that's gravy. If we lose this, I don't care because I already won. That's actually great for me. Here, 70 bucks. And like before, 70 bucks, and we're gonna come back and bring everything down to 110. And so this person here, again, I'll bring the reds in as a green. He's gonna bring in 180 on that first hit. So he's got 185 in his rack out of 225. So one more hit and he's gonna be solid here. And now our horseman starts, and again, we're in a good spot here, right? 125 on a 7, minus 60. That's good. We're in a great spot here to win on the 7 on the first roll. Those free shots at the 4 and 10. There's the 11. It worked out good. Pays you in there. There's a 3-2-5. 3-2-5. So the come bet will move into the 5 for the horseman. His next come bet's being ready. That 5 pays 35. And we're gonna bring everything down and go to 64 across. There's 50, 65. So he's gonna come back to his rack, and let's get him immediately set back up to be profit town, right? There's 100, there's 225 bucks. That's what he started with. There's his profit. He's already in profit. We're playing 64 across. So we're gonna go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 64 across with a buck change. So the tiered regression strategy twice now has worked. We beat the come out roll. We got 2 quick inside hits. We're at 64 across, paid for with profit, ready to roll. The come better, the horseman, has the bought 4 and 10 that have not yet been hit. It's our second of three free tries at the 4 and 10. Again, we're gonna profit on the 7 in the come on the way out. And again, those 4s and 10s become easy free money if we can hit them. There's a 6, 3, 9. That'll move into the 9. Our next come bet will come out and get placed. This 9 up here is gonna get paid 15 for 1. And actually what I'm gonna do is get that in nickels, because we're gonna go ahead and press the 6 and the 8 for this player by 1 unit each. So 1, and take back $3. So this guy's gonna press again, inside out pressing, 6, 8, 5, 9, 4, 10, and we start collecting. Here we go. What I really wanna see here soon is a 7. I wanna see a 7 come soon and look at where we landed. So there's a 10. So for the horseman, or the Trojan horse, this 10, that's gonna pay $40. And the come bet's gonna move into the 10. That becomes 25 to 40, or 20 to 25. It's a pressed up bet. I'm gonna take one of those nickels and press my 4 to a quarter. So he's up. The easy 10 will go away. We'll put it back in. We're gonna take back money here. So if you look at the horseman's rack, it takes him 100 plus 60. There's 100 plus 50, 60, and the 3 come bets. And the 3 come bets are out here right now. They're on the 4. I'm sorry, the 5 and 9 have the come bets on them, and the 10. 5, 9, and 10 have come bets. So those 3 come bets are set. If any one of them pays, we're gonna end up being even and showing potential profit. Here we go. Coming through. There's the hard 8. Good, I'm glad that happened. This player up here at 18 bucks is gonna get paid 21. We're gonna press the 5 and 9 by 1 each. We're gonna take $11 back to the rack. The horseman loses the don't pass, okay? Loses the don't pass, but remember, we won earlier on that come out aces. So he's technically okay in that respect. Puck is gonna be off by the way. So now we make a decision on the horseman. Do you come back out and ladder that guy up on the loss? That's the question to be asked here, because we're not in profit yet. We're technically speaking, that was a loss because we have not yet recovered the full amount of money for our shooter. In my opinion, we're coming out here with 200 bucks. And we're gonna ladder that up because we are in arrears, which makes the come out roll here really dangerous. Everything is working. The come bets are working, the 4 and 10 are working, and 200 bucks here is working. A 7 right here would be like the death knell, and it could happen. Instead, we get a 4, which is about as good a result as you can see. Puck goes to the 4. The come bet that was on, or that was not a come bet, that was actually a legit bet. That's gonna get paid 50 bucks. This hard 4 here will go away. We're gonna go ahead and replace the hard 4. Now, back in the rack, here's how we look. From the first shooter, we've got 100, basically 60 bucks, and the 3 come bets. So we've recovered our first shooter in completion. We still have 200 bucks sitting out here plus the come bet. So I'm gonna let him roll with this. I'm actually gonna take a quarter. And we're gonna go out with a $20 4. Oh no, I'm not, because I'm on the 4 here. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna leave it as is. Let the don't pass ride on that. I don't think I paid this guy, so we're gonna get him his 18 bucks, or we'll get 20 for 2. 20 for 2. 4 and 10 go to 15 each. Rack the 10. So he's set. 220 inside guys showing profit. Everything's been pressed up at least once. Going outside, we need these to get hit here for the for the Trojan horse player. There's a 3-2-5. 3-2-5, that's good. The comeback gets paid and comes back. And now, let's make sure I got my rack right. 100, 3 combats, 50, 60. That's the shooter's payment. Potential profit pending the result of that roll right there. The 5 over here gets paid 21. 21 there. And again, I'm going to press up in the 6 and the 8 here one more time. We're going to give them one more unit up, get them to 24. Rack our $10. Okay, we're good. That's a hard 10. That's fantastic. 1-to-1 on the comeback, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. That'll come back. Over here, we're going to get paid $70. 50, $70. I'm going to take 20 of that and put it right back onto the 10 like it should have been. I'm going to rack the 50. And now the horseman is essentially guaranteed a profit here. What you've got is the 4, $200 against the 4. I've got my initial money. I've got at least $100 in the rack. That covers one of these, plus a little extra here. So really, if the 4 rolls, we're going to lose $200, that sucks, right? I could very easily place the 4 here for 100 and lock in a $200 win, right? It cost me $100 to place the 4, like that, to place the point. That wins 200, and I'm bringing $200 back to my rack no matter what. Or I could let the 4 go and profit an additional $200. So you have a choice here to make in this strategy. Tough call to make. We're late into the roll, right? The right move might be to do this. Somebody would say the right move might be to do that, right? Get on the lay the longer the roll goes. I'm going to let the flat bet sit and do its thing. So here we go. Did I pay this 10? I forget if I did. I don't think I paid his 10. I think I didn't pay him. So he's going to get paid. He's getting paid 27 in the back. And that's going to be a collect because it was a color change. And here we go. There's a hard 8. Hard 8. 24 pays 28. I'm going to make the 6 and 8 both look like 30. So we're going to take all this down here. I'm going to actually drop $6. Make them both look like 30. Okay, here we go. Let me check the time. Make sure my class doesn't. I got 5 minutes to go here. We're gonna end this pretty quick here. There's a 3-2-5, $21. 5 and 9. Jump them up to a quarter. We're gonna do a hard press there. Here we go. I'm gonna let either the 7 come or the 4 come, and then I'll call this, unless I run out of time. 5's gonna pay $35. $35. Again, color change is a collection for him. Hard not to win when you're rolling like a boss, right? Hard 4. That's actually interesting. So what you didn't want to have happen happened, right? You lost $200 out there. That really sucks. Had we placed it, that would have been a wash. We would have won $200 down there. We'd have locked in $200. As it is, it's a $70 pittance. Really was what happens. I'll bring all that down for this player here, and we'll get a solid count on the horseman right now. That's going to be $50. That's $50. That makes a black come back to the rack. So this player ends up, believe it or not, there's the 2 blacks that we lost. I'll put those back in. Even though we lost on the point, we still have a $45 profit for that player there. The other player here hasn't 7'd out yet. But if I bring all this back, that player shows a nice profit as well. I got to go to work, so that's why I'm doing this now. There's 200. Almost. There's 275. 275, 295. So 295 in profit for the 220 across player. Again, 2 really strong rolls. Almost have to try not to get a profit there. Again, had I placed the 4 for $100, this would look like this. We'd have been $200 ahead had we done that. That was maybe a silly move not to do that, but that's, again, you're thinking the 4 is gonna, not beat the 7 in that case, so you do it. There it is. That's the strategy. That is how that works today. So I have not read a chat yet because I'm in the middle of kind of thinking through it. Again, I'm thinking through it as I go. As you can tell, my brain is kind of calculating sort of as we go here. I don't know that strategy is locked in to be played that way yet. I think there's a little bit of not working the come out, chasing the loss. I'm not sure what to do with all that. With 2 super long rolls like that, it's really hard to judge what to do because I didn't get a chance to adjust anything because it was just great rolling, right? I'll do another live one tonight. I'm going to reevaluate it again, do a live tonight, and again, set some parameters around that. When do I take it back? When do I turn stuff off? Like the guy in the back went from 220 to 110 to 64 across, all the way back to 160, back to 64 the first time. That's an incredible roll. And I think that move going back was right. This time here, probably about the right time to come in, right? So I see Waylon's got a comment from me here, but I got to get to work. I got 1 minute before I start class. I got to cut short here. I'll go back and read the comments. I may throw some emails to you at the end here and get some clarification on some things, but I'm going to keep working this out. I'll do another rollout tonight and we'll kind of play with it. So that's the Trojan horse plus the tiered regression. I love the tiered regression. It's awesome. Fun to play, but not enough time this morning to do a full evaluation. So I'll rewatch this and we'll evaluate later. But thanks for watching. Sorry about yesterday. I'll see you tonight. And Greg, I'll see you tomorrow morning on Brian's show. Can't wait to throw some shade your way during chat. So everybody have a great Friday. Hope you had a great week and hope you have an awesome weekend. I'll see you very soon. John out. God bless.